Good evening, everyone. I am Deanna, and I teach highly sensitive people, empaths, and starseeds how to take their power back and how to embrace the challenges of where we are in time and space right now. So, tonight I'm coming to you from the Facebook page on For Heaven's Sake Book. And also, this will be streamed live on Instagram. If for whatever reason we lose touch during this, I know the last couple of times we've got kicked off, then go on over to YouTube and type in my name, Deanna Gloyd. You'll be able to see it there. And for Facebook people, welcome aboard. So while this is taking some time to populate and send out the messages and tell you all that I'm out here, tonight, what I'm going to be talking about is the new year that we're going to be in. So it's kind of a cosmic countdown to the new year. And I'm going to channel a little message from Spirit for you all and let you know what's going to be happening, what to look for, and how to face it. Because there's been so much going on in 2021, 2022, and we thought we were doing good. And then 2023, I don't know about you, but Christmas, boom, was on us like that. Everybody tells me it feels like time is speeding up, and it actually is. And it's just challenging because we have all of these challenges going on within our hearts, and then our minds, and then our spiritual connections, and then there's whatever's going on the planet, the world scene, and what the ambiguous they are, doing. So it's a lot to take in, it's a lot to consider, and it's a time that has been kind of trying for all of us, and we're like, we're not sure what to do. So tonight I want to talk to you a little bit, just a channeled message to let you know the messages I've been receiving from Spirit and my guides about what's going to be coming up. So first of all, because I do like comedy, and for those of you that have been around a while, I like to be funny, but I was looking at the last day of December, and many of you might have seen this, but it's 12/31/2024. So just the way the numbers lay out, zero is where everything and nothing exist all at the same time. One is a point in space, and two is when you draw from zero to the one, and that gives you an event horizon, and three is where everything takes off. So for numerology folks, it's a little bit of comedy. Anyway, all right, so it looks like more of you are jumping on. Again, my name is Deanna, and I will be at For Heaven's Sake Book in Denver this coming up Thursday, which is tomorrow. Today is 12/27/2023, and I will again be there on Friday. So if you're like, ooh, I need to get in and see Deanna, I'm on a little bit of a tight budget, come see me on Friday, because Friday is a discounted day that I have for all of those of you that are trying to watch your budget. And you can call the bookstore at 303-964-9339. That's in the US. And you can reach out on the website at forheavensake.com and click on practitioners, click on Denver, that's Denver, Colorado, Indiana. And then you can see what's available on my schedule and what times I have left available. Okay, so let's dive in. If you have any questions, please put them in the feed. I know sometimes when I'm talking about these things, it's so heavy and everybody's like, on the edge of their seat, that we don't always get a lot of questions. But tonight I'm doing the cosmic countdown to the new year, and I'm going to channel a message from my guides to tell you what's coming up. Hi, Tony. Tony, good to see you. Good evening. Glad to hear from you. Okay. So we're getting ready for 2024 in just a few days. In fact, I believe it's 4 days. And you're going to see a repeating of a lot of the twos. And so this year going forward, you want to watch for things that are, hi Christina, good to see you, that you're going to want to look at twos. Okay, and what does the number two mean, and how is that part of what we're doing? And how that is, sorry, trying to get the computer to cooperate here, is twos, hi Leslie, How are you doing? First time seeing you. Oh, I'm so good. Is it Leslie, I believe? Good to see you. Okay. So the what we're doing again, sorry, I get refocused here. The collective consciousness countdown to the new year is that we are looking at 2024. Now, pre-COVID, the world was kind of normal, and then the whole world stopped, during the COVID time because the whole world basically shut down. Everybody was under lockdown. You had to stay in one place, and if you went out, you had to be careful. And then we had a whole year after that, and we're like, woo, we're going to get back into it. And some things stayed around, some things didn't, some things leveled out, some things didn't. And now it seems like time is really super going fast. And so highly sensitive people, empaths and star seeds, are waking up faster than ever. And this is not woke. If you'll notice, the common culture will use a word similar to what's really happening to kind of mask it or come over it. And that's been happening for, centuries. So when you are, if you will, awake, that means you realize that you're a spirit being in a physical body, having an experience and learning. So, what my guides have been telling me is that in 2024, the game's going to change a little bit. I like to call it spiritual Jumanji. And for those of you that didn't see the movie Jumanji, they would roll the dice and they'd have to stay in the game until they got to a certain point and then they could exit, maybe. And it was always some sort of a trial or some sort of a mission or something they had to complete. Well, in 2024, especially around March, April, again, watch for the sets of twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, that kind of thing. We are going to see a placement of the planets and alignment of the stars that's going to shift the collective consciousness once again. What does that mean? So at this point, it's looking out for what do you believe, what do you perceive that's real, and what do you perceive that isn't really real. That's the reasons for the twos. During this year, you're going to have a lot of things that appear real, but they're really a cover or a mask for what's really going on. And the only way that I know of to thrive during this time is to turn inward with your connection with spirit and your connection with Mother Earth. Because you've got two poles of magnetic energy, two poles. The connection with spirit, our divine self, part of who we are, and the connection with Earth Mother, also, who we are in the third dimension. And once you connect to those two particular ways, once you're connected in, then you will be able to steer easier because you will feel it, sense it, or know it. The clairs, the clairvoyant, clairaudient, etc. The outside world is going to try to muck up your sight or your hearing or your sense of knowing or your sense of feeling and your gut instinct. And all kinds of things are going to come at you in 2024 to get you to see something that isn't real, to believe it, to tie up your energy in motion, your emotions, to pull you in a particular direction. I want you to think about this with me for a minute. I know it's a heavy subject, but it's so important for 2024. Have you seen the commercials on TV where they will show different either human beings that need money, need food, need help, or different animals that need help or need money? And they have a commercial about that, and your heartstrings are just pulled to get you to contribute to their cause. Not that the causes are good, not the causes are bad. Listen to what I'm saying. The visual stimulation of what's going on in those pictures is heart-wrenching, and it gets your heart and therefore moves your mind to move you in a direction, preferably to contribute to their cause. Like I said, it's not good or bad, it's just how they do it. So I want you to think about other things like TV commercials, and they might give you something good and you're like, ooh, I want that. Or they show something bad and you're like, oh, I don't want that. So the two dynamics in this life are love and fear. And we move between the two in the 3D world. We are either stimulated by love, happy things, joyful things, things we want to experience, or fear, things we don't want to experience. So think how many of you out there are like something you like and you want to repeat it and you're like, yeah, I want to do that again. Or like if you dead scroll in the middle of the night, on your phone, or you're playing a video game, that's all stimulating your mind to get you into a particular place. Okay? If it stimulates your heart, then your mind will come much more easily. When your heart is in it, when you're motivated by emotions, energy and motion, emotions. So 2024, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to try to pull your attention and your consciousness towards it, and then get you hooked in with your heart and get you directed into a particular direction. So during 2024, no matter what's happening, take a nice deep breath, pull yourself back from the situation and ask, am I being motivated by love or fear or lack? Oh, if you don't do this, you're going to miss out on that. If you do this, you're going to receive this wonderful thing. I see a lot of commercials or a lot of advertisements on social media for, hey, if you want to make $1 million or you want to make money easier or you want a job that isn't going to be going away by AI, do this. And you're like, oh yeah, that's what I want. And so you pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars to get that. But have they shown you any results? AI is brand new. And to me, a lot of people are loving it. A lot of my friends love it. To me, it's pretty scary because AI will write things. Somebody can type into the computer what they want written, and a talking head will come on and tell you all about it and look really real. And right now, we can kind of see the difference, but as time goes on, it's going to lessen. And this artificial intelligence doesn't have emotion, doesn't have that energy and motion. So it just does what it needs to do to reach the means to the end. And another way my guides told me to think about this is, how many times have you called someplace to get customer service and you get an automated machine and it says, pick this or that, and it's not either one of your problems, and you say, okay, well, you press this particular number, and then you press another number, and you press another number, and it gives you a recording. And it's not what you wanted. And if you put in the information that that recording doesn't want, it says, it can't compute it, try again. And so you're at the mercy of this calling system with no human being on the other end. And if it doesn't understand what you need, it hangs up on you and says, sorry. And you've now invested all that time and that energy. And usually we call customer service, we're upset, and we want somebody to solve the problem. Now just imagine that and compound it outwards, and that's what you're looking at with AI. It won't have feelings or emotions. It just understands results, end results, and how it's going to get there. The exciting part of that is that in medicine, I've had different things shown to me by different people investing in AI, that they'll be able to scan your skin and tell you what's wrong, kind of a Star Trek kind of doctor, which is kind of exciting. But also, it's not the energy in motion. So there's going to be some separation there coming in 2024. Just be ready for it. And know that you have people who love you. Know that you have friends. If you don't have friends, start making friends now and have that group of people that you can get together with and interact. Because the most important thing in this life is learning. And you're always learning. And 2024 is also going to settle out a lot more karma from past lives or other lifetimes. You're going to have people that, get sick, and there's no reason in their 3D world for them to get sick, but yet they're fleshing out an illness. And that can come from another lifetime. I worked with a gentleman today, and he had a sore on his arm, and his skin is showing a redness. And, he'd been to different treatments and doctors, and, they didn't know what was going on with him. And when we researched it, what we found out is there was an injury there from a past life where he wasn't able to make changes. And right now, this world we're living in is just change, change, change all the time, fluctuating all the time, new things all the time. And holding on to the old is getting harder. Anybody else feel that, or is it just me? So what I'm saying is that getting ready for change and understanding that, you might have a physical ailment that is something you did in this lifetime, or it might be manifesting from other lifetimes that need karmic balance. And so if you come to For Heaven's Sake Books, or call 303-964-9339 and book with me tomorrow, which is 12/28. It's just a cool day because it's about twos. Or if you book with me on 12/29, what you're going to do is we're going to look at what's the dis-ease in your life. We live between love and fear. What has you in fear and not joy? And being joyful every day when you get up and happy every day when you get up. What is that fear? And then we'll take a look at how many lifetimes that came from, because it's oozing through into this lifetime and manifesting itself, because we live in a time where karma can be cleared so quickly. And resolutions to relationships. Oh my goodness. So many people have come to me since the holidays and they're like, oh my goodness, I went to see, my family and this triggered and this came up and I just wanted to leave and it was really hard. And I said, that's great. And they said, what? Well, that's great, because when those people trigger you, they're triggering your emotions and unsettled energies. So we look at those people. You've got yourself and maybe 3 or 4 other people that are in that dynamic. And when we go back and look at the past lives, we look at all the unsettled energy, and then we transmute it from the records so that your soul just keeps the wisdom and their soul keeps their wisdom. And once that's done, the next time they see you, there won't be such a charge there anymore, and you can feel better. You can feel happier, not so obligated, if that makes sense to you in your situation. And then the other thing coming up here in 2024 is going to be money. It's going to be wealth. It's going to be abundance. And I want you to know that no matter where you are, no matter what education you have or don't have, or where you are in financial standing right now, there is so much money in this world. There is so much wealth in this world that it is possible for you to have it. It's possible for you to have it. But in your energy field are imprints. Our energy field is here. It's our chakras, and there's imprints of energy in there, blots, if you will, or dark clouds. Sometimes people feel like no matter where you go, there's a dark cloud over your head. And during 2024, those imprints are going to be tested. Spirit's going to be trying to push them out so that you can be abundant no matter what's happening on the planet, so you can feel joyful, so you can have freedom, emotional freedom. That's what's happening in 2024. And I'm only giving you a little bit of it because I'd like for you to get started now. And get started now by looking at what's going on in your life. What do you like? What do you don't like? What makes you fearful? And what makes you feel joyful? And write it out. It's time for quote unquote New Year's resolutions. I think the only resolution anybody should make this year is the resolution to write out what's bothering you and what's not bothering you. What would you like to see different, and what would you like to remain the same? Resolve to write that out so you can see it, so it's right here, and then you know where you're headed. Because you know where you've been and you don't want to be, and you know where you've been and you know where you want to be. Thank you for the thumbs up. And trying to put yourself into, oh, well, I resolve in the new year to lose weight. Yeah, me too. That puts a lot of pressure on you. You might go to the gym or change your diet for a couple of days. Then you lose power and you're right back in to the same old space, the same old muck. And the only way to free yourself is to dissolve that muck. So what is the muck? And what are the good things? And how can you shift it? And it really doesn't matter where you're starting. Doesn't matter what your ability or disability is, you can do it to the best of your ability. And having that strength is where 2024 will keep you centered. And a lot of people right now in my field are saying, be grounded, be grounded. Okay, great. If you're grounded in the 3D world that may not feel comfortable right now. Maybe you're scared, you don't know where things are going, and there's all these different things. We've got a election year coming up, stock market all over the place, right? Prices rising, budget's not rising. I'm telling you, centered or grounded, what that means is you're connected to Earth Mother. You find joy in your life. You find your reason for living. If you need help with that, again, you can reach out to me at the bookstore, 303-964-9339 or forheavensake.com. Or you can just reach right out here. There's usually a link down here to get connected to me, or on Instagram, it's up here. I think YouTube, it's up here. Click on it. Reach out to me. Let's find your joy in life. Let's find your joy to take you forward, because you have one. It may be this big, and you're like, oh, I already know what makes me happy. And it might be this big. And if you're a highly sensitive person, it might even be covered. And you're like, I don't know what joy is. Where is my joy? So 2024 is about bringing that joy out, knowing what makes you happy and what you want to leave behind. And then you set your course there. And when people say be grounded, what that means is you're going to be connected to Earth Mother. You're going to stay in your moment the best you can. You're going to recognize your thoughts, feelings, and emotions the best you can. And you're going to connect to the divine and allow your divinity, your spiritual self, to come in. The Christ consciousness, okay? The Christ consciousness. What that means is you're consciously awake, aware that you are a spirit being in a physical body, and you have the power to command anything you want. If you're covered up with emotions that are negative or hurtful, it's harder. And that's why people come see me at For Heaven's Sake, is they're like, I don't feel good about this or that. And we transmute that energy, and they walk out feeling lighter. 99.9% of the time, when people leave a session with me, they say, I feel fabulous. I feel lighter. And that's because we've taken all the muck out of their energy field so they can go out and create differently. And yes, I give homework so you can keep that feeling going forward. So that's a lot. All right. Don't see any questions in the feed. Of course, I've covered a lot. Mama Jakim, good to see you. Dana, good to see you. And I know it's heavy. I've seen my viewership tonight go up and down. They're like, I don't know if I want to hear this. Well, if you don't look at it, if you don't qualify it and quantify it, you can't change it. That's why I said the only resolution you should have this year is to write out what you like in your life and what you don't like in your life. That's it. And then you can set your course. All right, I'm going to ask my guides to channel, because I did promise to channel a message tonight. If you're enjoying this, can you give me a thumbs up or a heart or whatever you've got going on there? I had one lady write me on Instagram last week. She said she loved hearing the wisdom. If you love it, let me know. 2024, I will be changing more of my platform and how I'm working. And good, thank you, Macria. How I'm working and what I'm doing. Thank you, Cheryl. So that I can reach more of you more quickly, because as you know, the time for us to shift our consciousness is growing shorter and shorter. The fifth dimensional frequency is open. That's the Christ consciousness. It's coming down to us through the collective consciousness. That's where every man, woman, and child's thoughts are. That's where it's all kind of wiggy, if you will. And let's see if we can do this. So give me just a minute, and I'm going to connect in with my guides and see if there's anything else they want to share. I always ask them when they're channeling through me to consider the audience, to consider every person that will be watching this now or in the future, and what is it they needed to hear. One moment. Okay. So who's coming through are called the Arcadians. You don't see much about them on the internet. They are a group of beings similar to Palladians that come from a heart space of love. They're a little bit higher in vibration than the Palladians, and they say they're working through a lot of different people at this time. One moment. We are many. We are many who talk to the few who listen and understand what is being said at this time. The world is changing so quickly, yet many hide from it. When it is a blessing and a time of great reaping for those that have worked hard. Center your emotions around love and dispel all things that are not of love. For love is a frequency of the greatest height. It releases all worry. Overwhelm is nothing more than resisting love. It's trying to see too many things when love is a purification. It shows you one thing at a time and allows you to work on it within your heart. You must focus on one thing, purifying your life, releasing all that creates upset or strife, focusing on the one. If it doesn't honor you, ask why and what are your emotions around it. There's a magnetic quality between what you experience and what you hold in your heart, emotions, and mind. The more you feel centered and release the drama, the negative lower vibration, the less it will come to you. 2024 will show you this. Every 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 days. This is the way that we see things now. Much will change. End of transmission. Well, I'd like to thank them for joining us and bringing through a message. So it sounds like that theme I was telling you I was feeling about the 222s is coming along. And, releasing what doesn't resonate. And I know there's things in my life that I would like to release instantly. And in the human world, it takes a while. Sometimes you got to pay down a big bill, and you can't do it all at once for whatever reason. You have to make incremental small payments until it's paid off. Or there's a big goal that you want to reach, and you've got to take a step-by-step process. And in the 3D world, that can be slow, one step at a time. It is possible, though, to take one step at a time and to breathe in the peace and the meditation and just center and balance yourself and bring those things forward. Remember, as you're feeling emotions, that energy in motion, the space between love and fear, if you're having emotions, remember to feel them fully, because if you don't feel them and you suppress them or push them away, they're going to just come back. So if you need help, reach out. Tomorrow, I know, is Thursday, and I know that I have at least 4 time slots left. So if you're needing help, you can get a half hour with me, one-to-one. You can either do it by phone or Zoom. It'll look kind of like this, or even FaceTime, or come to the store. I always enjoy having people in person. So again, that's 303-964-9339. Or for Thursday, which is 12/28/2023, or Friday, 12/29/2023. The 9s are just important as the 2s, especially going forward. So I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. And like I said, I will be changing my platform going forward into 2024. And so I wanted to come on and do a little bit of a channeling and give you some understanding, because by the time I see you the next time, it will be the 3rd, unless I jump on tomorrow with another message. So looks like I don't have too many questions. And It is a countdown, it's a cosmic countdown to the new year. We have a lot of shifts and changes that are going to be going on in the cosmos, in the vibrational frequencies. We've had a lot of solar flares already, which disturbs the bioelectromagnetism of the physical body. And there's going to be more astrological changes this year, just quick, because we are in a time of a new age where the planet is literally splitting in two with the frequencies. And so some of us are going to go to the higher level consciousness and experience that, and some won't. And so it's that shaking out of those things, which we've been doing for the last couple of years, and this is more of a separating. So just like if you shake up oil and water, for a while it's been still, now the last bit is going to separate into two levels of consciousness. Super exciting. Stay in peace and stay in love. Again, if you need help, I'm going to go into the Akashic Records, which is the etheric records, and I can look at all the energies that are holding you back, transmute those so that you feel better and you can move into that space of joy. And if you have a curse or a hex, a family lineage curse or hex, let's get those gone. I did one for a guy today that went for, 24 generations back for worry. He said, I'm tired of worrying. So somebody 24 generations ago started worrying, and it just passed down through the generations. And in order for him to get to the next level of consciousness, he can't carry that energy anymore, nor did he want to. So when you recognize what you don't want to carry, then get these energies cleared through the Akashic Records through all lifetimes. Get your spiritual teams lined up to support you in that, and make sure they're on board. And that's what I do, is I help to transform those things for people and make it easy and effortless for them to do so. And for those of you seeking more spiritual awareness and how do I keep myself attuned, that I also do. So anyway, big hugs and kisses to all of you. Thank you so much for staying for the presentation tonight. Big hugs and kisses, and I will see you either Thursday or Friday, and if not, Happy New Year.